Hey everyone, just thought I'd do something a little bit different today. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, do a tier list of the UFO 50 games. I like to make my own tiers, so I'll go through those. Also, this is sacrilege, but I have actually not played all of the UFO 50 games, although I have seen all of them, gameplay and stuff like that. So I know, how can you really rate a game if you haven't played it? Watching it's not enough. I agree. So I do have a category that kind of covers that, which is this uninterested category. And that's going to be exclusively for games that I haven't played and honestly have no plans to play. Yeah, so I know it's probably sacrilege. I should at least try all of them. But it's probably not going to happen at this point, quite frankly. Although there are some that I haven't played yet that I might, or I think I want to. But for now, they're going to kind of get dumped in this category of just not capturing me. They could be great games, but just from knowing about them, watching them, I'm not interested in playing them yet. But I thought it was unfair to try to put them in a tier if I haven't actually played them. So all of those are going to get dumped into that category of not good enough to play, unfortunately. Anyway, I have my all-timers. Those are games that I wouldn't mind going back and playing again at some point. The unique experience, if I could take it out of my brain and replay the game, I would choose to do that. I consider these games, from my perspective, done, but I would love to experience going through them again. Then I have it's a fun distraction. It's a game that I liked, I enjoyed, but that's it. Probably not super memorable to me. Games that were a bit of a slog. Some of these I've completed, some of them I haven't. But I would say that I didn't particularly enjoy them. And then the games that I find just not fun. Now, of course, this is all just my own personal opinion. No one's going to have the same tier list at all. Again, I haven't actually played all of the games, which may be sacrilege to some of the UFO 50 diehards, including a couple of my friends. So I kind of apologize in advance for that. If your favorite game is I rated as just not fun or uninterested, I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion. You're welcome to rate the games however you want and like the games that you like. We're all individuals and adults, probably, maybe not yet, but soon to be, and human beings here. So I'm just doing this for fun and for myself. So anyway, let's get started. So we have, what is it, Barbados? I don't even remember what the game is called. Barbuda, that's it. Well, not off to a great start, exactly. Anyway, I know that this game has its fans, but to me, it's just not fun. I would say I get it, and it does kind of bring back nostalgia or memories. I played DOS games like this before. I am old enough to have experienced old school games like Barbuda. I get where they were going. It's an interesting idea, but for me, as a game, it's just not fun. I haven't actually played Bug Hunter. I kind of want to, so it's not to say that I'm uninterested, but that's just what that category is for. Ninpek, fun distraction, especially two-player. Paint Chaser I haven't played. Magic Garden, this is tough. I think it's pretty close to all-timer. It might end up at the top of the unique experience list. I am going to order all of these within their categories as well. But for me, so far, I would say it's the unique experience category. I loved playing it. I cherried it. That mindset that you get into with the kind of, what's the right word? The kind of trippy music that's playing while it's going on. Great soundtrack. Just kind of dazzles you. You get into a flow state. Really great, unique experience. Wonderful game. Very frustrating also, or it can be. I tried going back and playing it once again, and I lost pretty quickly, and then I was like, I'm probably done with this game at this point. Honestly, I don't want to have to try to get up to the skill level again and be so focused on it. But when I was going through it, trying to get the cherry, it was definitely worth it. Then Mortal, I would say, for me, a bit of a slog, honestly. It was definitely an interesting idea for a game. Good puzzle game, but I don't know, I just didn't find it that fun. I didn't really like the aesthetics. The idea and the theme was kind of cool, but all in all, it just didn't really capture me. Velgress, definitely put in the unique experience category. Kind of similar to Magic Garden and how it works. So you get into that flow state. You know, I would say the pressure on you to move and to pay attention is not as constant as with Magic Garden. And I don't like the music. The soundtrack is okay, but it's not like to the level of Magic Garden. So this is probably going to be lower in this tier, but still definitely a unique experience I would love to revisit. Zoldath. Sorry, just not fun. Again, it kind of reminds me of Barbuda. I see what they were going for. I've played games like that back when they first came out, and honestly, I didn't really find them that much fun then. You know, I don't know. Maybe I've been spoiled. We're just so used to quality of life things that these old games, pseudo old games, intentionally don't have. That just makes it kind of not fun for me. Tactics, I'm going to put it in fun distraction. I find it very stressful as a game, actually. I really like the idea. And I haven't actually completed Tactics as well. I don't know if I ever will. But, you know, it's good. It definitely is not a slog to me, although it is intense and a lot of pressure. Devolition. So this one is tough. You know, because I think that I would rate Magic Garden higher than Devolition, but it's very close. And I kind of want to make Devolition an all-timer, but then Magic Garden would be an all-timer too. So maybe these will end up shifting tiers. We'll see. I kind of have to go with what happens with everything else, but Devolition, really, really fun puzzle game. Really makes you feel smart. A lot of fun to solve the puzzles. It was really fun to cherry. I like the ending. I like the music, sound effects, the characters, everything about it. It's a great, wonderful game for sure. Kit Club. Sorry, I know that this is one of my friend's favorites, but for me, just not fun. I will rate it higher than these other two. But yeah, sorry to say, just not fun. Avianos. So I know this is probably going to make me unusual, but this is an all-timer for me. I can see going back to Avianos. I love these kinds of games, RTS strategy games. Well, it's not an RTS exactly, kind of. But, you know, I've played games like that in the past. Oh, hey, Mike. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming to the stream. Yeah, I was talking about you. Oh, so you decided you hate Kit Club? Yeah, fair enough. Yes. Well, yeah, I'm glad you came to that conclusion ultimately. Anyway, moving on. So Avianos, I really love. I feel like, you know, I can't pinpoint a game like it that I played in the past, but it just feels like a familiar, fun game that I played. I loved exploring all of the different abilities. I enjoyed the challenge. It was just a great experience for me, Avianos. I just really love that kind of game, and I feel what I like about that game is that any aesthetic would work for that game. You could have really polished, you know, Warhammer 3 is similar in some ways. You could have whatever aesthetics you want and still have that kind of gameplay, and that's just really the kind of thing that I enjoy, the resource management and that sort of thing. You said it's a 4X game? What's a 4X game? I haven't heard that before. You're gonna teach me something new. Anyway, Mooncat. I'm gonna put it in the just not fun category. I'm sorry, it's just not for me. I know a lot of people love this game. The weird control scheme, you know, it's cool, I guess. I understand that like you get it if you play it enough. It just honestly just doesn't capture me personally. Just not for me. Sorry. Bushido Ball. You know, I might have just not played this game enough. I'm gonna say it's a bit of a slog. I played the 2-player, and that's it. I haven't really explored it that much on my own. Again, just doesn't really capture me. But I'm not willing to say it's not fun. It's okay. I have not played Koala Club, or whatever it's called, Block Koala, although I doubt it would get a very high rating based on what I've seen and what other people have said. Camouflage. Definitely in the unique experience category. This was the first game I played because I got it on random. I picked the games randomly at first, and the first game I cherried. You know, so it has a special place in my heart. I might want to rate it higher than I am, but I'll hold back a little bit and say that I think Demolition is better as a unique experience, but Camouflage definitely up there. You know, suffers a little bit from its length, maybe, but I think that's fine. I think it's exactly where it needed to be. Yeah, great game overall. Although, maybe it's a little bit easy, and it kind of combines. There's like some action elements in it, and it's supposed to be a puzzle, which I didn't love that, but even so, still, that's good. I'm wrong on Mooncat. So wait, what's a 4X game? You didn't say. You got to explain that to me. Next, Campanella 1. I'm gonna say it's a bit of a slog, although it's close. You know, it's a very frustrating game for me. I haven't beaten it yet. I do kind of like it, but I don't know. If I were better at it, I'd probably like it more, to be honest. So I might be a little unfair to it, but that's where I'm going to put it for now. Alright, Golfaria, or Golfaria, as our friend Mike back at you likes to say. For me, I'm putting it all the way at bottom of a bit of a slog. I'm not going to put it in just not fun, because I personally hate this game. I hate golf games in general, but I think that the idea for this game is so cool, and I've seen a playthrough of it and everything. It seems really awesome, but I would get so frustrated trying to control it, and the combination of exploring and not knowing where you're supposed to go, and the golf controls and all of that, I just honestly wouldn't be able to play it. So in that sense, it's just not for me, but I got to put it in this tier just to show it a little bit of respect, because a lot of polish went into that game. It looks great, amazing idea, very cool storyline. Just as a game, for me personally, I can't move it any higher than that. But it did escape the bottom tier of the games I played because of the respect I want to show it. 4X game, okay, the genre-based strategy game. Yeah, Civilization. Yeah, it is. Avianos is a Civilization-style game. Yep, exactly. I love those kinds of games, which is funny because I've only played Civ 3, which I did love, but I should play some of the other Civilization games at some point, or at least try them out. Great Bell Race. I'm gonna put it in the bottom of Fun Distraction. You know, that's fine. It's cute, short, not bad. I enjoyed it. I'm done with it now. Warp Tank, kind of cool, but I haven't played it, so who knows if that'll happen. Onion Delivery. I'm putting it in Fun Distraction, although I do find the game very frustrating and difficult. I haven't come close to beating it or anything, but I do like it. It reminds me of Crazy Taxi. I like the controls. It's kind of cool, but definitely has a high skill floor, I think, as a game. And that always makes it a bit of a challenge, but I like it enough to at least put it there. Porgy. I'm putting it as uninterested. You know, I just don't like that style of game where you're like underwater and you have to go back above water at some point. Like Echo the Dolphin style. That mechanic in particular is just very frustrating to me. And I've also heard from the community and from friends that after a certain point in the game, it just gets very frustrating because you have to either go like all the way deep, and then if you don't finish it, you have to go return all the way to the top, and it really turns into probably a slog. So, you know, if I ended up playing it, it might be a bit of a slog, but I really just had no interest in playing it. Yeah, well, I can't wait to hear why you don't like Kick Club anymore. So when you do your tier list, you'll have to explain all about that. Yeah, the Civilization 7 came out, right? I heard it was not as good though, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have enough games on my list, honestly. Anyway, I think, Mike, this one will offend you in particular. Waldorf. I am putting it in Fun Distraction. I know this might be your #1 game, maybe, but for me, it's okay. It's short. Honestly, it's a golf game, which I don't love, but the controls are tolerable. I like the mechanics of the game. I really love the aesthetics. I think it's cute. I like the music. The battle mode is a lot of fun. I know we played that together, so definitely a fun distraction. But honestly, as far as like fun distraction games go, I like Ninpek a little bit better. So yeah, it's got to go there for me. I don't remember what this game is. I gotta look at UFO 50, the menu. Oh, it's Caramel Caramel, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Wait, hold on. I have UFO 50 open so I can take a look just in case. Yeah, Caramel. Okay, I have played Caramel Caramel. This is tough. I think I'm gonna put it at the bottom of Fun Distraction. I do kind of like shmups. They're not my favorite genre, but I do like them. That kind of like shmup where you have like a separate control where you have to control the camera and the shooting. Maybe I'm just not skilled enough, but I don't love that mechanic. Although I know it's a popular thing, it's a good idea, etc. You know, just not all my favorite games. But it's okay. I'm not going to say it's a slog. Definitely not. Next up, Party House. This is an easy #1 for me. I haven't played Party House in a while. I assume I'll go back to it again at some point. I have a 13 streak, which I think is pretty cool. I think that puts me in a high percentile, although I know like the top streak I've ever heard of is like 120 something. So that's crazy, but love Party House. It's like a mini Balatro in some ways. Just a great game overall. Standout game for me of the whole pack, and one that I would revisit, which deserves to put it at the top of the list and all-timer for sure. Hotfoot. I have not played. Not really interested in playing it either. Divers. You know, I don't know exactly where to put Divers. It's definitely just not fun. I'm gonna put it below Mooncat. And this game makes me sad because I really love this idea. I love a kind of esoteric JRPG, old school, you know, the things that I don't love, that I don't think you need it anymore, not in 2025 and 2024. Grinding, yeah, that kind of quality of life thing. Like if you, honestly, I don't know how much grinding you actually need to do in Divers, but it kind of seems like that you need to grind in order to be able to fight other enemies and stuff like that. I get you want to emulate games from the era, but it's just not necessary to me. We can live without that as a quality of life for a cool exploratory JRPG. And I would also say, what I was really hopeful for when I was playing this game is that there was balance. You could kind of choose whatever path you want. Like, you know, there's no explanation of what to do, where to go, what the weapons and tools do. You have to figure that out on your own. And in my opinion, if you do that, everything needs to work at some level. Like some strategies or things are going to be better than others. But, you know, I've seen playthroughs or like speed runs of it, and there's like, you very specifically pick, I think like 3 pink tridents is what everyone gets equipped with at the start or something like that, and like, you know, nobody uses mallets, and I don't know, it just feels like to me it should be a little bit more forgiving in terms of, if you're not going to hold anyone's hand at all, you know, make all of the choices somewhat balanced. That's just my opinion on how the game should go, and that's kind of what I was expecting, and that you'd be able to find your way through the game and kind of choose whatever path you want and it would work. Not that it would necessarily be super easy. And then it also has the same problem as Porgy of like, you know, you reset, you have to go back down and explore again from the beginning every time. that's a little bit of a problem. I don't know if there are save points in it or anything like that. I don't think there are, but those kinds of quality of life things I think would have made Diver a better game for me overall, which is fine. I mean, you know, it's not my game. They can make it however they want. I'm just saying that for me personally, I wanted it to be higher in the list, and it could have been with some changes, but you know, who cares if it's higher on my list or not. Next, I think this is Rail Heist. I have not played. I don't remember what this one is called. It's the Metroidvania. I haven't played it. Although that one, you know, if we want to shift things around a little bit, maybe I'll put those towards the top. Rock on Island. This one is tough. I think I'm going to put it in Fun Distraction. I haven't finished it yet. I haven't charioted it yet. I've been trying to chariot. Honestly, and I know that you said this as well, Mike, I might enjoy it a little bit more if I were just trying to gold it and not chariot. It is frustrating. To, you know, you kind of have to find the unique, specific thing that you need to do that works in the level, and you don't necessarily know until you lose to it and stuff like that. That does make it a bit of a slog, but you don't have to do that. I choose to do that. And I really like the aesthetics of the game. It's fun. I like tower defense games, so I think it deserves. It is where. I think it deserves to be here. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Next up, pin golf. So this one I'm gonna put as a fun distraction. I'll put it above tactics actually, with a caveat. You got to do a two-player. You and a friend have to be playing pin golf together, laughing the whole time. That makes it fun. And if you make an amazing shot, it feels so great. Otherwise, the game is incredibly frustrating, incredibly hard. You don't want to play it. But if you're playing it with someone else and you're both sharing that experience, it's great. So, yeah, this pin golf deserves to be a fun distraction. But I'll reiterate, only if you're doing a two-player. Next up, Mortal 2. So, yeah. I found it to be a bit of a slog, quite frankly. I played this with Mike. Actually, we did it. It is a two-player game where you can alternate your selections or whatever, which is kind of interesting. But you know, honestly, I don't know why. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I enjoyed it more than Mortal 1. I like the aesthetics better. I kind of like the puzzles, but it just didn't really click for me. I found it a little bit frustrating. Maybe there were too many branching paths, and you know, it kind of seems like more or less you can go wherever, but ultimately it doesn't quite shake out that way, which I don't necessarily appreciate. I feel like there's maybe kind of a bit of a lack of balance for the classes. I don't know. My criticisms might not be totally valid, but overall it just didn't click for me. But yeah, I liked it better than Mortal 1, and it was okay. It doesn't deserve to be in the Just Not Fun tier, that's for sure. Next up is Fist Hell. So I know this might make me a little bit unusual, but Fist Hell is an all-timer for me. It's definitely a game that I would revisit. I have tried. I tried to play it with my friend Mike, who's on the stream I've been talking to and about. While we were on vacation. He did not like it. He did not want to play it, so that didn't really happen. We couldn't beat the first level again, but I found it to be a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it, and I would definitely play it again. If there was someone out there who wanted to get the Fist Hell cherry and wanted to do a two-player, I would join them. So it's an all-timer for me for sure, just by default because of that. All right, next up we have Overbold, I think is what it's called. Unfortunately, I have not played it. I don't know. It looks kind of cool, honestly. You know, I'd probably move it at the top of this list. Oopsie. But Haven't played it, didn't pull me in quite enough from what I've seen, but a game that I may potentially revisit at some point. Overbold is way too hard. I could see that. Okay, Campanella 2. Oh baby. So, this one is going to be really tough for me. Really tough. Because I'm putting it in the unique experience tier. And the reason for that is I'm never going back to Campanella 2. I've beaten it. I'm done. I cherried it. It's over for me. I don't want to play it again. I have no desire to play it again. That said, like I said at the beginning, if you could extract the memory of playing Campanella 2 out of my brain so I could experience going through that again, I'd sign on the dotted line. That'd be a wonderful experience for me to have again. Now, so this makes things confusing because does that make Magic Garden an all-timer for me? Does that push it up the list? Or do I like Campanella 2 better as a unique experience? This is a tough one. You know, I think for the sake of giving Campanella 2 the respect it deserves, I'm going to leave it where it is. And I'm sorry to say, Magic Garden, you're just not going to make it to all-timer for me. But that said, the chances of me replaying Magic Garden again are higher than me replaying Campanella 2 again. So I'll just put it that way. What is it? Hyperdrive Fighters or something? I haven't played this one, although it seems pretty cool. Rakshasa I should play. It's a lot of games I haven't played. I'm sorry. I apologize once again. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead to Brimstone. I haven't played either, although I want to, but it seems like a big investment. Also, the JRPG approach from Divers kind of turned me off a little bit from my desire to play Brimstone, but I should probably check it out. Next up, Star Waspir, another shmup. You know, I'm gonna put it in the middle of Fun Distraction. Really hard, maybe the hardest game. I'm nowhere close to beating it. I don't think I ever will. Nowhere close to cherrying it. Absolutely no way. But definitely a fun game that I've really enjoyed. Lords of Disconia. So I think this is a good spot for it. Devolution and Lords of Disconia are pretty interchangeable for me. It's very close. I think I'd rate Devolution a little bit higher, but it's really close because I really like Lords of Disconia, which I think that was Grand Pooh Bear's favorite. I don't know if it is anymore, or if he played all of them or not, but it was at one point. And I think other than him, I don't think many people have enjoyed Lords of Disconia. None of my friends really like it. I haven't seen that much about it, but I really like it. The one thing I will say is that the first level, the first map, is not great. It's fine. It teaches you the mechanics and all of that, but you really have to get past the first one. I think once you get to the second map, things get a lot more interesting in terms of strategy and the different units you can get and the strategy on the map and powers and things like that. So I would say if you don't like Lords of Disconia, maybe give it a little bit more of a chance. Try to beat at least the second or maybe third level before you totally come to a conclusion about whether it's good or not. But yeah, for me, it is definitely a unique experience that I thoroughly enjoyed. I cherried it, so no problem. Oh, you like Fistel, it's just way too hard. It is hard. I had to practice a lot and look at some strategy guides about what to do, but a lot of fun for sure. I haven't played the Shadow, what is it? Shadow Realm, I can't remember what it's called, the NES one. Not Maniac Mansion, there's a couple of games like that, I can't remember what they're called now. I didn't play those games either, but I haven't played it. Probably won't, to be honest. Next up, Alphazar's Hat, easy all-timer. Wonderful game, amazing music, sound effects, gameplay, everything in the game is perfect. Actually, Alphazar's Hat should be above Fistel and Avianos for sure. Cherried it. I think did we cherry it together, Mike, or did we gold it, or both? I know I cherried it solo also, but yeah, definitely a game I would play again for sure. Next, Pilot Quest. You know, it's definitely a unique experience, that's for sure. That said, I played through it something like 9 times so I could get the cherry. I don't know why in the aggregate, it's just something that you do when you're a dedicated video game player. And it was definitely a slog to cherry it. Now, to gold it, probably not so much, but I would say, you know, the game, it seems really interesting. It seems, oh, it's all procedurally generated and it's unique, but once you play through it enough, I feel like the cracks in it start to appear, and it's not as cool or interesting, as unique as it seems at first. So the illusion kind of crumbles if you play it enough. But a first playthrough, the initial experience and everything, Pilot Quest is good enough to escape being put into the slog category for me, at least. I haven't played Mini and Max or Combat Ants. I've heard that this is one of the worst, if not the worst, so probably won't play that. Quibble Race. I know exactly where to put this one. I didn't really like it. I played it because it was easy to get the cherry, but yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. I haven't played Campanella 3. Sunset Drive. I'm gonna put it as a unique experience for sure. Now, we only have one game left, which is the Owl Force, which is really insanely hard, and I haven't played it that much, but it is cool. So I think I'm gonna put it next to the other really hard game, Star Wars Spear. I think that's a good spot for it in terms of the fun. If I played through it more, I might have more of a conclusion that it really could go one way or the other, but I think this is a good spot for it, for me, for now. But anyway, Sunset Drive, just going back to that. Great game, love the controls, love the aesthetics, great sound effect. Do I like it better than Velgress? Do I like it better than any of these? It's tough. I think I'd put it after Lords of Disconia, because Lords of Disconia is just a deeper game. All these games are deeper. Well, Magic Garden's not really deeper, but Magic Garden, I described before how it made me feel and how I felt about it, and definitely a unique experience in that sense. So I think Sunset Drive didn't impact me emotionally quite as much, and it's just not as deep as Lords of Disconia or Demolition, so it's going to be here, to be honest. So yeah, go through the list one more time. You got a lot of issues with my ranking. Well, I welcome you to bring up any of the issues now, and I'll be happy to discuss them. But yes, of course, I'm going to be true to myself. I don't know if you were here or not. I said at the beginning of the stream that I think that this is going to be relatively controversial, at least to you specifically. But I'm not going to shy away from how I feel, and we're independent people who can have our own opinions. And this is my list, nobody else's list. So let's go through it again just to make sure. The all-timers: easily Party House #1, favorite game, no question. Balthazar's Hat #2, easy peasy. Fistel, I just love it. Makes me feel great to play it. And Aviano is just a really unique, more than a unique experience, something that it could be like a whole game, a more fully fleshed out game if you wanted it to be. Then Campanella 2, hated it as much as I loved it. Fantastic game. Magic Garden, I don't know if any game has ever made me feel like this. It was almost like a psychedelic experience trying to cherry it, but it was well worth it. And then these two kind of puzzle-ish games, I love them. Another puzzle game, a couple of action games that were a lot of fun. These are more the arcade style of games to me in this row, which makes them fun distractions. These are also kind of arcadey style games. I just didn't really like that much. They just didn't click for me. This is more of an honorary ranking for Golfaria. I just couldn't stand to play it, but I really respect where it's coming from. And then these games that are more like, I think they had intention. I think I know where they were going. I think I know what they wanted them to be. They might be what they wanted them to be, but they were just not enjoyable for me. I just didn't want to play them. Yeah. So anyway, this is my rankings of the UFO 50 games. If I ever get around to playing any of the others, some or all of them, I might revisit this list. I doubt that things are going to shift very much. I think most of these games are going to end up in Fun Distraction or lower. I don't think any of them would make it to Unique Experience. It's possible, but I'd have to try it out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my rankings. I hope I didn't anger anyone too much. I'll be curious to hear what you have to say, Mike, because clearly you disagree with a lot of my rankings here. So, and I think you would do a different ranking system anyway. I don't know, you wouldn't choose the tiers that I chose either. And also keep in mind, this is my experience with the game. I'm not even talking about like the quality of the games. If I had to rate games in terms of quality, I would probably put Golfaria in the top tier, or Golfaria. But for a gameplay experience, for me personally, this is where I'm putting it. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. Just remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Look forward to your rankings, Mike. And I'll see you all later. Goodbye.